I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
On November 21st in Florida, a man named Richard Wilbanks was out walking his 3-month-old puppy when it was snatched from his side by an alligator. The man chased after him into the pond, splashing around and wrestling for the puppy's life. Here's part of the interview.
Adrenaline kicked in, and I just went right in the water after the gator and gunner.
Earlier this month, a new strain of coronavirus was found in mink in Denmark, home of the world's largest mink farms. The new strain has infected 12 people, causing the Danish government to order the killing of all farmed mink, which is about 17 million. This has led right-winged parties to accuse the government of using the pandemic to try and end mink farming, and they are calling for the Prime Minister to resign. There has been large public backlash to this decision, and the support for the government has fallen by 20%.
As of Friday morning, more than 11,801,500 people in the United States have been infected with the coronavirus, and at least 252,300 have died, according to a New York Times database. Case numbers are spiking across most of the United States, leading to dire warnings about full hospitals, exhausted healthcare workers, and expanding lockdowns. As conditions worsened and winter approached, the governors of Ohio and North Dakota ordered residents to wear masks. State leaders have imposed curfews in Ohio and most of California. And with more than 1 million new cases in a week, federal officials urged Americans not to travel for Thanksgiving. Some of the states that are high in cases and staying high are North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Iowa, Nebraska, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Montana.
A lot of people have been wondering when they can get the new coronavirus vaccine, and federal government officials are promising coronavirus vaccines soon, even some before Christmas, and states are gearing up to begin vaccinating Americans sometime in December. While millions of healthcare workers will be able to get immunized against the virus before the end of the year, the rest of the population is going to have to wait for months. The federal government has promised that any coronavirus vaccine will be provided free of charge to the American public.
The Patriots were back in action this past Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals, and they defeated them 20-17 in another very boring game. They got lucky on some calls, had a good goal line stand, and got calls when they needed them. Cam Newton did not play well, 2 picks, 84 yards, but the run at the end and the kick by Nick Folk really sealed the deal.
Hey guys, it's Matt. I'm just here to inform you on some news going on in the world. An American group was detained for accidentally sailing into British Virgin Island waters. They traveled about 1.5 miles into forbidden seas. 4 Americans claim they are being held like hostages in a British Virgin Island hotel room after they accidentally sailed into the territory's waters, breaking rules that prohibit U.S. visitors during the COVID-19 pandemic, according to a report. Lynn Hines of Manning SC said her and her husband, 2 friends, only realized their mistake after the sailboat had already traveled 1.5 miles into the forbidden seas. On November 19th, on their way to St. John New Station, the boat turned around to head back, but it was too late and they were met by custom agents and were later picked up by authorities. And right now they are still under investigation and being held.
This week's top 10 artists are, coming in at number 10 is Taylor Swift, number 9, DaBaby, number 8, Billie Eilish, number 7, Harry Styles, number 6, Justin Bieber, number 5, Luke Combs, number 4, Morgan Wallen, number 3, Ariana Grande, number 2, Megan Thee Stallion, and number 1, BTS.
A Japanese robotics startup has invented a smart mask that could possibly translate into 8 different languages.
The U.S. men's national team looked very promising, as we saw over this break, getting away with 2 wins and a draw, outshooting their opponents in every match. If you look along the lineup, they got a very exciting team. with an average age of 23 years old. A lot of these players are playing day in and day out in top leagues in Europe and the Champions League. Just looks like an exciting time to see the team get away with 2 wins and a tie, even without their best player, Christian Pulisic.
The following clips are in honor of Native American Heritage Month. Many local and national organizations are now working to help teach the real facts about American history. North America used to have over 60 million indigenous peoples. Now that number is about 5 million people. For many tribes and Native American nations, Thanksgiving has been a day of mourning. This year, there were a few positive changes relating to recognizing tribes and Native American nations.
Lenape tribal member will now read a proclamation for the sustainable stewardship of the gifts of Mother Earth, also referred to as a land acknowledgement. This presentation will be followed by a Wampanoag blessing and the singing of a ceremonial rattle song performed by Brian and Anna Wan Whedon. And now, Opalaniatet Pierce.
Wamgamel Mohemo, greetings. The island we are standing on today, Mannahatta in New York, is part of a larger territory, Lenapehoking, home to many nations of the Lenape. These are some of the Native American nations who had first contact with Europeans and are among the longest continuous democracies on Earth.
Various tribal nations throughout this Turtle Island also call Mannahatta home. This land belongs to the Creator, yet it was given to First Peoples to steward. The many tribal nations of First Peoples, we're still here.
Manaka Nisonati, Nakwatayana Maman, Wami Kiakwatani, Nakwatayana Maman, Wanapia Ak, Wata Manahanatunas. Nakwatayana maman wami na tongkwasat. Niwachi nowa ma natayanian. Yuyu natayanian. Kapish machimi natayanian. Anak.
If you are interested and want these links or more information for Native American organizations, contact Mr. Merrick.
Hello, Frontier community. This is Mr. Dodonna. An announcement about the pending upcoming Poetry Slam, which is going to take place on February 12th. That's a Friday, right before winter break. And several students have already come forward. People are writing poetry. This is probably going to be a virtual event, but it's still going to be exciting because it'll be streamed throughout the community and you'll all be able to cast your individual votes this time and not just class votes. So I just want to basically invite those of you who are interested to please contact me via email and join us on the SLAM meetings that are hosted on Schoology on certain Wednesday afternoons over the course of the month. I'd love as much interest as possible to help get this off the ground, ideas about how to make it, how to make it a big success, how to make it snappy, how to make it happen. Because, you guys are the technological wizards and me, I'm just, an old poet who don't know nothing about electronics and stuff like that, So anyway, please contact me, join us. Let's write some great poetry. Let's be inspirational. I think there's a lot that we can say and write about given the circumstances of our lives right now. So let's make it happen. Let's make it great. Thank you.
Hey,
Hey there, what's happening?
you tell me. What you making?
I'm crushing some ice because what we're doing in biotechnology requires all the reagents to stay on ice. So we're looking at taking out a gene sequence out of a bacteria plasmid.
Whoa.
So lots of fun stuff going on. Hey, I got something else I can show you.
What's that?
Let me just put this ice in the cups and then we'll be good to go. So the students in biotech were working on doing bacterial transformation. So they took DNA from a red sea anemone and they used a plasmid that goes into bacteria, and then the bacteria starts making the red fluorescent protein. So they change the color of the bacteria. So let me go grab some plates. All right, so we're keeping them refrigerated so they don't overgrow. But students are learning the techniques involved in the biotechnology, and this is a big step in being able to do this. So this is what you normally would see bacteria growing as. I don't know if we can see that very well. Okay. And this is what we were able to get the bacteria to do. So, and there's several students. All the students were successful in following the protocol, and we're looking at how bacteria produces insulin for the treatment of diabetes. And it's done on a similar form as far as using, let's see. So there's another successful transformation. So we made bacteria produce the protein found in sea anemones that you find in the ocean floor. So it's kind of fun. We like to nerd out up here on the third floor. So, and as we talk about science rules.
Very cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Murphy and Mr. Merrick are now holding photo and video club meetings on Mondays after school through a Schoology group. Also, we have a FRS Photo Video Club Instagram account. If you are a teacher or a student and you have a project, clip, or announcement that you want to share on the news, just email Mr. Merrick or one of the video students.